Have you ever been watching your favorite Pixar movies and noticed that they keep making references to other movies? Well, that's actually because they are. There's actually a specific timeline that follows every single so far made Pixar movie. I've seen every single Pixar movie that there is. I love animated films, and there's actually a lot of Easter eggs that reference other movies. The lore has taught me to keep my eye out for other subtle hints that have referenced other movies, and I'm sure it can for you too. Now, if you've seen any of the other Pixar movies, you may have noticed little hints for those with a keen eye. An instance of this is the pizza truck that is seen in Toy Story 1, 2, and 3. You see, that pizza truck is actually seen in other movies, such as Monsters Inc. There's a quick scene where they go through the doors of another dimension and the pizza truck is there. Another thing is Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story can be seen inside the dentist's office in Finding Nemo. And Rex, everybody's favorite Rex toy from Toy Story, Green T Rex, can be seen in Wally inside of his house. Now, this is just a quick rundown of the timeline. Brave starts up here, the beginning. Up is kind of in the middle, and towards the end is Wally. And I want to give you a brief rundown of how and why they're connected. Brave was the first movie, well, not the first movie to be made, but the first movie in the timeline. It was a Pixar movie created in 2012 by Pixar Animated Studios, and it follows the story of the Will of the Wisp. Now, the Will of the Wisp is basically magic. Now, this magic can bring animals to talk, inanimate objects to come to life, and for humans to gain supernatural powers. The main character faces this issue by turning her mom into a bear. Her name's Murda, and that's the premise of the movie. Murda learns her lesson. Anyways, so an example of this is that magic also actually follows the creation of superheroes. Kind of far fetched. Hear me out. You see, superheroes are created by magic, and it follows the next movie in the timeline, The Incredibles. When you're watching the movie Brave, you can see that inside the witch's hut, where they first enter, there's these small cravings. Now, these cravings are giving hints to other Pixar movies, and the witch state that there's other dimensions that have been caused by her magic. She doesn't really exist in this timeline, but is also the creator of it. Kind of complicated stuff. John Negrodi, the creator of the Pixar timeline, specifically states that, and I quote, "The will of the wisp leads to the creation of heroes and Incredibles." The next movie in this franchise, well, not the next movie, the next movie in the timeline that would set the middle point is Up. Up was created in 2009 by Pixar Animated Studios and follows the story of the main character, Charles, and he's forced to leave his home by a company. Well, did you know that this company that actually kicks him out is a fictional company called Big and Large? Big and Large is a big factor in the destruction of the Earth. We'll get to that later. Now, you see, Charles Muntz, the antagonist of that movie, is actually raising an army of dogs to destroy the humankind. He believes that humans are the reason why the planet is slowly being destroyed, and he makes very, very anti-human remarks. And is the sole reason why he doesn't live with any humans. He just lives with his fellow dogs. An example of this is that the antagonist during the movie states that he hates all humans, humans are polluting the earth, and that the main character, Charles, needs to see inside of them so they can raise an army of dogs and destroy humankind. Charles, the main character in that movie, also starts to figure out that dogs can actually talk to humans without the collar. They understand humans, and they're intelligent, way beyond a normal dog should be. Excuse me. So Miller states that years later, after the uprising between humans and animals start fighting, there's actually a war that goes on. Now, this war destroys a big part of the timeline because it splits up between humans and dogs. Who do you think won that war? You gotta watch Pixar movies to find out. Towards the end of the timeline, it starts ending with Wall-E. Wall-E is a fictional movie that was produced by Pixar Animated Studios in 2008. The movie follows the story of Wall-E and him cleaning up the earth because Big and Large, the fictional company, actually destroyed the earth due to their overpopulation and pollution and just a whole bunch of bad stuff they did, including taking over the government. Kind of crazy, right? Well, check this out. So Big and Large was actually the cause of the world ending, and there's actually proof of this. If you're watching Wall-E, there's quick audio recordings played by Big and Large's CEO, and he is directly stating that he single-handedly was the cause of Earth's destruction. John Negrelli states Earth has been inhabitable and takes place in a little bit past 1950. That's when Big and Large kind of took over the whole government and world and slowly destroyed it. And it makes references to other movies, Cars, Toy Story, Monsters Inc. There's a whole tons of references. Actually, WALL-E's one of my favorite movies, personally. Well, after today, I hope you can kind of get a gist, and hopefully you can keep your eyes out for other references that are hinted out in the movie. See if you can connect other things yourself with your friends and family. Well, I hope you have a good day, and I thank you for your time.